are back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Top of the morning, breaking news. We got Maduro. That's going to be crazy. But we're waiting on reports to come in before anything. Um, as you know, my background is military, so I knew first thing, yes, today, technically in the morning, but literally since last night. Um, I wanted to start the day earlier, but I don't want to get caught up into the hype. I wanted for things to settle in so we will have more news. So, this is BBC News.
Amor, ay, no, mira eso, mira eso.
All right. Nicolas Maduro captured.
This is the strangest way I've ever seen to eliminate
Flown
the
out.
parasite that causes type 2
Oh,
diabetes. And the reason why you've never
recibió el regalo que le mandé.
industry
Mire, yo la mandé a hacer. Esta es igual que esta. Ajá. O sea, usted tiene la misma versión, pero yo tengo la versión en LED. So, me la mandaron a hacer desde que me la trajeron. Sí. Sí, sí. El día después que me la mandaron, yo vine, pero usted estaba libre ese día. Y sí.
Tengo un bebé también que me regaló un cóctel,
Ajá.
me lo estoy mandando,
Ajá.
pero no tiene nada de esas cositas.
Oh, pues ya yo sé, yo le consigo un par de cosas para que se lo ponga, sí. So, usted sabe, para yo ir a la tarima, yo siempre me mandan a hacer algo. So, cuando yo lo vi y el otro dice POW, prisionero de guerra, yo lo vi, la calcomanía en su carro, y eso me hizo pensar en usted, dijo yo se lo voy a llevar al cacique. Sí, sí. So, por eso, felicidades, feliz año nuevo. Y ya usted sabe, mira, nos metimos para Venezuela, agarramos a Maduro. Los Estados Unidos se llevaron a Maduro y a su esposa esta mañana, como a las 1, a las 2 de la mañana. Sí, noticia mundial. Entraron con aviones de guerra pequeños y con helicópteros de guerra. Lo sacaron como en 2 minutos. Para que se ponga mejor. Sí. Con dignidad, sí. Sí. Ok, Dios me lo bendiga, ya usted sabe.
This is a CBS News special report. I'm Carissa Lawson. President Trump just announced on social media that Venezuelan president, Nicolas Maduro, has been captured and flown out of the country. This comes a few hours after the U.S. hit Venezuelan military targets in Caracas, the country's capital. Here is the social post in full. The United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow. There will be a news conference today at 11 a.m. at Mar-a-Lago. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Our Washington correspondent, Ed O'Keefe, is joining us now by phone to tell us more about this. What are you hearing from the Trump administration right now?
Well, what we've heard is essentially what we've read. The statement from the president just a little while ago, quite stunning. The United States has removed another country's leader and his wife, presumably forcibly against.
If you're just waking up this morning, we are following breaking news. President Trump announcing the capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro
during a large-scale
U.S. military operation. President Trump confirming the dictator, along with his wife, are now in U.S. custody after being flown out of the country. Maduro facing federal drug trafficking charges, and he will stand trial here in the U.S.
Video shows explosions rocking the capital of Caracas and surrounding states early this morning, and low-flying U.S. Special Operations helicopters were seen flying over the region. What's your initial reaction to this?
Well, this is an extraordinary episode. It's unprecedented in the abduction of a foreign leader when the situation is unprovoked. I mean, we can go back to 1989.
And we start with Lucas Tomlinson live in West Palm Beach, where the commander-in-chief has been spending the holidays. And Lucas, you've had great coverage overnight here. What else are we learning about this operation?
This is a concealer that has skincare
Celebrating
ingredients
right
that
now.
I would be using anyway infused in it. So it's
That's Gabriela Arzola. She is joining us live from Doral. She is outside in Arepaso, which you know is the mecca of the Venezuelan community there. And Gabby,
It's pretty busy behind you, Gabby. It's 6 a.m. and people have been out there. Can you tell us about what you're seeing and how long you've been seeing people out there reacting to the stairs?
Guys, history is being made in real time. There are hundreds of people here in El Paso, which, like you said, has been the mecca for Venezuelans speaking out against injustices in their country for decades. I'm here joined by Edgar. Edgar has been here since he was 11 years old, born and raised in Venezuela, out here since early this morning. Tell me, why did you want to be out here?
Well, okay, before I begin, I just want to talk to you, America, and I hope you have your coffee when I tell you this, but these are great news. All eyes on Venezuela. These are historical news. This is history in the making. I mean, my chest, it feels like it's going to explode with joy. Because before I was even born, there have been struggles. My family has been fighting for so many years before I was even here. They have told me about it. They told me about a time where democracy existed, and now I can finally look forward to that. And that's just everything that I can ask for. And you know, I just want to tell you people, America, Venezuelans are good people. The greatest people that I know, I can vouch for them. We are good. We are working hard. And this is our, like, President Donald Trump and Maria Corina Machado just created an opportunity for us to begin working harder than ever. Because that's what we have always been doing. But now we're going to be working in our country. But you know, we also have worked so hard here in the United States to build so much things. And I just want to thank you, America. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to work.
You know, there's a lot of pride that comes with Venezuelans. He actually wore this flag just like this for his college graduation in the University of Florida, just to show you how much love there is for this country that has gone through so much for so long. Being here has been incredible. People are dancing, people are cheering, and we've been here so many times, Christian, like you said in the past, when there have been so many issues, and they would cheer, "Si se puede, si se puede."
Yo.
Now they're cheering, "Si se pudo."
She said a key word. She said, we're watching history in the making in real time. Powerful words. Very, very powerful words. Let's get a quick prayer in. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for all the blessings in our lives. We thank you, Heavenly Father, for all the blessings in our lives. We worry not about what we don't have because we're in the process of getting it. And in the journey, everything we do is in your name. Amen? Amen.
I do believe that the future of Venezuela is in Venezuela. But I also think that some of us and some people here also want to continue working here in the United States, building a beautiful nation Well, Doral. I mean, this is the stronghold of Venezuelans, and it's a beautiful city. I recommend everybody to come here to Doral. I recommend everybody, if you're Venezuelan, everyone, come down here to Arepaso. Yes, come celebrate with us. We love everybody because you, America, has loved us so much. So much. Thank you, America.
Edgar, thank you so much for sharing those sentiments. Guys, this is something that I find really interesting here. Everyone here, American, Venezuelan, have said they're so happy for the freedom that they experience here, and they just hope that freedom translates into their home country, Venezuela. All we heard was freedom, freedom, freedom. Yes, we did it. Now we can continue to move forward. By no means are any of them saying, now comes the easy part. Certainly, the hard parts are on the way, but they're saying now is finally a step in the right direction that they've all been waiting for so long. I want to give you a little bit more of a scene center here, guys. Look, people with flags, holding them up, holding them high. Hundreds of people here, cars, playing music, everyone here dancing. It really is wonderful to see so many people coming together. There are a lot of emotions behind this. I mean, they're not just cheering because of what just happened today. This comes from generations upon generations of stories of struggle, stories of hurt, stories of hope for a better country and a better life for their family in Venezuela. Since I've been here, I've seen countless people FaceTiming their family members across Venezuela, checking off on them. Like we said, these strikes, we still don't know if there have been any casualties. We have had a lot of people here checking up on their family. Thankfully, all of the FaceTimes have been answered. A lot of things we still do not know. But overall, here the sentiment is hope. Like we said, we covered this in the past. A lot of times we've heard people cheer, si se pueda, puede, and now they're saying, si se, now we did it. Guys,
Gabby, it's so loud behind you that we actually could we can hear you, but we can't hear you as clearly as we could maybe a half hour ago when we see the jubilation, right? The joy behind you of people that have been sitting on the edge of their seats waiting for this moment. Still unclear, where things will go, if there in fact will be a regime change. And I don't want to sound negative because by all indication, that is where we're going, but there's a lot of question, a lot of concern. You see a lot of celebration behind you, but of course in Caracas, Venezuela, there is a lot of fear of what happens next.
Yes, Gabby. And have you felt that while you've been there interacting with people? Have you felt that there is any?
This is the little Christmas toy my wife bought me. I've been super excited about it because honestly, I never really believed she could get me a gift.
Live look there right now, and I wanted to recap what we do know, as this is a developing story. As I've been sharing here, we are learning a lot of this with you, the viewers, in real time as we keep combing social media here from the Trump administration to see if we have gotten any additional information coming out. But you're taking that live look there at Venezuela this morning. If you are just joining us on Live Now from Fox, the United States hit Venezuela with this large-scale attack, this happening earlier today, and saying its president, Nicolas Maduro, as well as his wife, has been captured and flown out of the country after months of stepped-up pressure by Washington.
Thanks, Chanley, and thank you, Lucas. Christopher Nixon Cox has had wide experience in international affairs. He is the grandson of President Richard M. Nixon. Joins us now on the telephone. Chris, this is, you have to say, an historic night. The United States government, the Trump administration, taking bold, decisive action, shocking and surprising by capturing Nicolas Maduro and his wife, Celia. They obviously are probably in handcuffs because he has been for 5 years under indictment for running a massive billion-dollar narco-terrorist organization. Your thoughts at this stunning move by President Trump?
Well, this is just, as you said, absolutely stunning.
Eric, as you said, the president posting on Truth Social. We now have that for our viewers to look at on the screen. There it is. The United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela.
They sent in all of the bad ones. They sent in some bad people. And that to me was just terrible. And they send in drugs. Every boat that we take out, we save 25,000 lives of Americans.
The U.S. government knows, because we've told many of their spokespeople, that if they want to seriously discuss an agreement to combat drug trafficking, we're ready. If they want oil, Venezuela is ready for U.S. investment, like with Chevron, whenever they want it, wherever they want it, and however they want it.
All right, let's bring in our panel. Chris Ryan, host of the New Hampshire Today with Chris Ryan on WGIR and iHeartRadio. Matt Terrell, the former chief of staff to then Senator Marco Rubio, and Susan Page, Washington Bureau.
So I've got a lot to say about this little drone. I just got it yesterday. I just came from the Koss place, the famous.
Welcome in, everyone. We have some major news. I'm filming this on the morning of January 3rd. Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro has been captured. That is right. The United States has launched a massive military operation, waves of airstrikes, helicopter attacks, ground-borne operations, resulting in the successful capture of Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro, who has been captured and flown out of the country. I told you all this was going to happen. I said we were going to go in. I said we were going to get him. And now on January 3rd, the morning of January 3rd, the dictator of Caracas has fallen, and he is now in U.S. custody following a massive military strike. So we're going to break it all down. The footage is out there. We have a lot to get to. Before we do, as always, please make sure to like and subscribe. Totally free. Costs you guys absolutely nothing at all. Huge, huge, huge boost to the channel. Comment with your thoughts below. What do you think about the dictator of Caracas, the dictator of Venezuela going down, U.S. Special Operations, Delta Force going in, snatch and grab, getting him the hell out in American custody? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that notification bell. All notifications turned on. You won't miss a thing. And then right here, Instagram at David_Hookstead, XD Hookstead. That's where you can find me on social media. My DMs are wide open. Reach out with whatever you got. Now, let's get into it. So I'm going to put this right up on the stage, right to start. So this is President Trump's announcement. Now, we have watched a massive military buildup going back months and months and months, show of force, practice bombing missions. We got fighter jets that were flying all over the place. And a lot of people, and I was covering it. I was covering all of it. And I was telling you, you don't do these things unless you plan on going out and using the assets at your disposal. You don't have the ghost ship parked off the coast of Venezuela with up to 160 Tier 1 operators unless you plan on using it. Well, now the United States has used this. So at 4:21 a.m. on January 3rd, President Trump announced the United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow. There will be a news conference today at 11 a.m. at Mar-a-Lago. Thank you for your attention in this matter.
2 hours.
President Donald J. Trump.
World is
so
on
President
shutdown.
Donald Trump announcing right there that the United States has captured, but did not kill. This was a capture, appears to be a capture-kill mission, not a kill-capture mission. For distinction, has captured Nicolas Maduro. They had a $50 million bounty on his head. They wanted this guy gone. They wanted him gone or dead. And now, in a daring raid, nighttime operation, U.S. Delta Force went in, hit him hard. The strike footage is nothing short of absolutely incredible. So I'm going to put some strike footage up on the screen for you now.
I want to know from you, first of all, give us a description of Venezuela under Nicolas Maduro, who we know was the vice president under Hugo Chavez. I met
Good morning to you all, heroic people of Venezuela, soldiers, men and women of our homeland, sons and daughters of Bolivar. The Bolivarian National Armed Forces of Venezuela wishes to inform the entire global community that in the early morning hours of this very day, the 3rd of January, the Venezuelan people themselves have been made the target of the most criminal military aggression on the part of the government of the United States of America. Up to this very moment, the barbarity of the invading forces who have desecrated our sacred ground.
This is CNN Breaking News. Welcome to CNN. I'm Victor Blackwell.
The Warner Brothers deals with this.
Morning, President Trump says the U.S. carried out large-scale strikes on Venezuela overnight. He says its president, Nicolas Maduro, and his wife, Celia Flores, had been captured and flown out of the country. Attorney General Pam Bondi says both of them have been indicted, and in a social media post says that they will, quote, soon face the full wrath of American justice. The Venezuelan vice president says that she has no idea where Maduro and the First Lady are.
Faced with this brutal situation and this brutal attack, we do not know the whereabouts of President Nicolas Maduro and First Lady Celia Flores. We demand immediate proof of life from the government of.
Now, John Bolton, former Trump national security advisor to President Trump and former UN ambassador. Sir, always good to see you. I'm going to start with, how did we get here? Why now?
Well, I must say, information is still incomplete, but I'm delighted that Maduro has been captured and extracted. I wished we'd been able to do that in 2018. 2019, when the opposition tried to overthrow Maduro, we had significant American national security interests at stake. However, this is maybe step one of a much longer process. Maduro is gone. The regime is still in place, according, again, to limited information. Delcy Rodriguez, the vice president, Vladimir Padrino, the defense minister, Jorge Rodriguez, the president of the National Assembly, are still in place. And it's interesting, we'll know more when Trump speaks at 11, but the president's rationale is a law enforcement rationale. There is the warrant for Maduro's arrest. The operation is said to have been carried out largely by law enforcement personnel with protective support from the military. And as you just noted, Hegseth and Rubio had briefed Congress that regime change was not the answer. So I'm not sure how much more there is to celebrate. I'm glad Maduro is gone, but if the regime remains, the threat to America remains, and the harm done to the Venezuelan people remains.
You worked in this White House under President Trump. Can you give us a sense of the thought process behind the scenes of the...
If you want to shock everyone by New Year, tomorrow we're starting with the winter Tai Chi walking plan. Good morning, heroic people of Venezuela, soldiers of our homeland, sons and daughters of Bolivar. The Bolivarian National Army.
We start this morning with breaking news. President Trump has announced the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro after airstrikes were conducted in the country early this morning. Christian Benavides has the latest reports.
In a stunning announcement, President Trump posted on social media this morning that Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro has been captured and flown out of the country with his wife. It could mark a remarkable end to a repressive socialist regime that started in Venezuela back with Hugo Chavez in 1999. Maduro has been a wanted man in the U.S.
Look at the news being reported by the Reuters news agency. And they are saying that Maduro and his wife have been indicted in the Southern District of New York.
I'd like to formally inform the entire world that in the very early hours of today, January 3rd,
Now, in more breaking updates, Venezuelan Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino Lopez has addressed the nation in a video, giving his first statement since the capture of President Nicolas.
Let's go to Shihab Ratansi. Shihab, what are we hearing now from the U.S. president?
Already know.
Explosive Truth Social post from Donald J. Trump. I shall read.
Stay strong, stay proud. I pray for Venezuela's freedom.
Buenos días, pueblo heroico de Venezuela, soldados y soldadas de la patria, hijos e hijas de Bolívar. La Fuerza Armada Nacional Bolivariana informa al mundo entero que en la madrugada de hoy, 3 de enero, el pueblo venezolano ha sido objeto de la más criminal agresión militar por parte del gobierno de los Estados Unidos de Norteamérica. Hasta el momento, la barbarie de las fuerzas invasoras que han profanado nuestro suelo sagrado en las localidades de Fuerte Tiuna, Caracas, los estados Miranda, Aragua y La Guaira, llegando a impactar con sus misiles y cohetes disparados desde sus helicópteros de combate en urbanismos de población civil, para lo cual estamos ya levantando la información referente a heridos y muertos. Frente a este ataque ruin y cobarde que amenaza la paz y estabilidad de la región, elevamos la más contundente denuncia ante la comunidad internacional y todos los organismos multilaterales para que se condene al gobierno norteamericano por la flagrante violación de la Carta de las Naciones Unidas y del derecho internacional. La Venezuela libre, independiente y soberana rechaza con toda la fuerza de su historia libertaria la presencia de estas tropas extranjeras que solo han dejado a su paso muerte, dolor y destrucción. Esta invasión representa el ultraje más grande que ha sufrido.
Thank you for your service. Salute you.
A la insaciable codicia de nuestros recursos.
No, for the pants. But you're still supporting us. Yeah, you're still part of the team.
God bless you.
God bless you.
I came this close to Vietnam. I graduated 75 summer.
We're happy to have you. No worries.
And I was deciding, I could go to Canada. I could be where Jesus. But then I think they don't give you a gun, right?
Well, it depends what your specialty is.
Yeah, but I believe in Jesus. But then I think they give you
God bless you. Have an amazing day. You're welcome.
Unidos, soldado y pueblo, formaremos un muro de resistencia indestructible. Nuestra vocación es la paz, pero nuestra herencia es la lucha por la libertad. Nosotros, que extendemos la mano en hermandad, hoy cerramos el puño en defensa de lo nuestro. Unámonos, que en la unión del pueblo encontraremos la fortaleza para resistir y vencer. En medio de esta embestida imperial, hago un llamado ferviente a la serenidad y a la...
Pay close attention, because we are going to show you the images of the point where the attack occurred. In the meantime, we can point out that this is the building of the headquarters of the Air Force Command, where, fortunately, no significant damage was reported, but a little further ahead, where several civilian transport units were destroyed, as well as military equipment that was on site. It was aquí, but...
Hola amigos, tercera transmisión del día. Aparece finalmente Diosdado Cabello, después de que lo hizo Vladimir Padrino y Delcy Rodríguez el día en que Nicolás Maduro y Cilia Flores han sido capturados y enviados a los Estados Unidos, donde le esperan acusaciones, al menos a Nicolás Maduro, por terrorismo. Vamos a escuchar la aparición y qué dice Diosdado Cabello.
Terrorista contra nuestro pueblo, contra el suelo patrio, contra las instalaciones eléctricas, contra la revolución bolivariana y contra aquellos que inclusive no tienen nada que ver con la revolución bolivariana. Es un ataque contra Venezuela, contra la República Bolivariana de Venezuela. Las fuerzas militares, las fuerzas policiales, ya acá conmigo, uno de ellos, el pueblo, presto para cualquier situación, presto para cualquier hecho que pretenda ir más allá de los ataques que cobardemente hicieron las fuerzas policiales, militares y nuestro pueblo en esa función que llamó nuestro presidente Nicolás Maduro para garantizar la paz y la tranquilidad de nuestro país. Desplegado. Y
روسیه هم میتونه تحریم‌های غرب رو از روی خودش برداره. اساساً ما به عنوان یک کشور جهان سومی آنچنان ارتباطی نداریم با دیگه، یعنی حجم اقتصاد ایران حجم بالایی نیست، یعنی ما ارتباطمون کلا کمی، چند دهه تحریم هم باعث شده که ما کلا روابطمون رابطه کمی.
Miller from Philip Ingram, who is the former senior military intelligence officer. Philip, I can barely keep up with the breaking lines out of here. Maduro captured, his wife captured as well. We're being told that they're going to be put on trial in the US as well. This is a US senator saying in the last few minutes that there's no further action anticipated in Venezuela. Now Maduro is in US custody. And this is Mike Lee, Republican senator, saying military action was to protect and defend those executing the arrest warrant. I don't know about you, Philip, but it seems a bit back to the future with kind of putting me in mind of Noriega and regime change in Latin America back in the day. What's your impression of the dramatic breaking news in the last?
A la barbarie, al extremismo, a bombardear a un pueblo, a atacar a un presidente y pretenden, así como he dicho en otros pueblos, que ellos hacen lo que les da la gana y no pasa nada. Pero yo les aseguro, compañeros, compañeras, este es el...
We're Phoenix Energy, a family-owned oil company focused on unleashing American oil from North Dakota and Montana.
The U.S., as you say, has carried out a series of airstrikes in Venezuela, capturing President Nicolas Maduro and his wife. As you say, President Trump did confirm that in a social media post overnight, and Attorney General Pam Bondi posted on X moments ago that both Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, have been indicted in the Southern District of New York. She says Maduro will face charges of narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine importation conspiracy, along with weapons charges. In Bondi's words, quote, they will soon face the full wrath of American justice on American soil in American courts. Now, Venezuelan Vice President Delcy Rodriguez appeared on state TV following the attacks, demanding proof of life for Maduro and the First Lady, calling on citizens to mobilize for what she called an attack on Venezuela's sovereignty and oil resources. Vice President Rodriguez says armed officers and civilians were killed in the attacks, but she did not give a toll. The first explosions in the capital, Caracas, were heard around 2 a.m. local time. The Venezuelan government says military and civilian targets were hit across 3 states. But this does mark a major escalation of a months-long campaign that has included deadly strikes on suspected drug-running boats, a blockade on oil tankers, and a CIA-led strike on a Venezuelan docking area thought to be used by drug cartels. Just yesterday, President Maduro hosted a high-level Chinese delegation in Caracas. Now, it's not clear whether those diplomats were still in the country at the time of the attack, but global leftist leaders have taken to social media to condemn the strike. We've already heard from Russia, Colombia, Cuba, Brazil's President Lula, and Mexico, all rejecting the military action by the U.S. Now, before Maduro's capture was announced, Democratic Senator Ruben Gallego of Arizona posted on X, quote, there's no reason for us to be at war with Venezuela. Republican Senator Mike Lee posted that Secretary of State Marco Rubio has told him Maduro will stand trial on criminal charges, and that Rubio expects no further action in Venezuela. President Trump says he will hold a news conference from his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida. It's set for 11 a.m.
And the president is here.
After
What?
a series of large-scale
Yo,
U.S.
Delta
strikes on
motherfucking
Venezuela,
force,
U.S.
baby. This is
President
what we
Donald
do.
Trump has said Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife were captured and flown
Unbelievable,
out of
yo.
the country. The extraordinary nighttime operation was confirmed by Trump on social media a few hours after the attack. Multiple explosions were heard across Venezuela's capital, Caracas, in the early hours of Saturday, as Maduro's government accused the United States of attacking civilian and military installations.
Colombia re-strengthening its borders.
Florida, you can finally play real money games on your phone, powered by Pass Motor Racing and hard.
Potentially something negotiated. It's unclear. The opposition has, some opposition members have said that this was part of some negotiation. That's unclear.
I want to head back to Washington, bring David back in. So that was our correspondent in Havana talking there. What's your reaction to what he's been saying?
Yeah, I do think Marco Rubio, as ever, is a pivotal figure in all of this, and we've been saying that also about the peace negotiations in Ukraine, where Rubio is seen by some as a voice of sanity, or the most pro-Ukrainian figure there. He has taken a huge interest, obviously, in Cuba and Venezuela, and I suspect is hugely supportive of what's happened in the last few hours, and we're already seeing that in his social media accounts. All of this will be fascinating to watch as well in Marco Rubio's home state of Florida, now also Donald Trump's adopted home state, where there is a big Cuban community. And I think in the coming days, coming hours, we're going to...
It's absolutely incredible, isn't it? Obviously, a planned organisation, planned attack on Venezuela, and then a big operation to catch.
This was Nicolas Maduro and his wife just a few days ago, looking relaxed and smiling.
Acuerdo de combate contra el narcotráfico, estamos listos.
He tells his interviewer he's open to closer cooperation with Donald Trump. He has now, it seems, been deposed and is on his way to an uncertain fate.
Just peace, forever.
Whatever the future brings, Nicolas Maduro may be remembered most for pictures like these.
U.S. President Donald Trump announced in a social media post on Saturday that the United States had captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife in a large-scale operation. Trump said the couple had been flown out of Venezuela, and there will be a press conference on the operation later on Saturday. He stressed that the operation was carried out in accordance with U.S. laws. On Monday, Trump said their operations had expanded to land areas where the drug cartels operated after the U.S. forces struck a dock area in Venezuela where drugs were loaded. This is the first known time Washington has carried out land operations in Venezuela since the U.S. pressure campaign against the Maduro regime began several months ago. In the wee hours of Saturday, explosions rocked the Venezuelan capital of Caracas, with a power outage reported in the southern area of the city, near a military base. The Venezuelan government issued a statement accusing the U.S. for launching a so-called grave military aggression in the civilian and military areas in Caracas, Miranda, Aragua, and La Guaira.
We got to ship out. We
They
got to
said
get to the
objective of
business.
the attack was none other than to seize
We'll
Venezuela's resources
reassess and regroup.
attempt to break
Everybody
the
chill
nation's
out.
political independence.
We'll take it from there. But breaking news. So it's a part of everything that we're gonna do for the rest of the day. All of you have an amazing day today. May you conquer everything in your path. May everything that you touch turn into solid gold bars and silver bars and beautiful and precious gemstones such as moissanite or laboratory grown diamonds or any laboratory grown gem. Always remember to dream big because dreams come true. It happened to me, and I know for a fact it's going to happen to you. We'll be right back faster than you can do this. God bless. Have an amazing day.